Okay, this is the first video in what might become a vlog series, I'm not sure. So today is the 20th of February 2020. This week I received a breast cancer diagnosis that I kind of thought might happen because, there are some things you can do to find lumps and stuff. But the enormity of what is potentially in front of me has just become really overwhelming today. So I'm wondering if it would be useful to record as I go, and so that this may end up helping other people, because I am fortunate enough to have two women in my life right now who have had their own significant breast cancer journeys. 3 women in my life right now, that list will grow, who I have respected and appreciated their candor in sharing with me their own stories as they've gone through. And I hope that I can be as encouraging and insightful and real to the women who get to do this after me. So I know that this is not a death sentence, and I know that the outcome of this will be good. What I'm not looking forward to is all the invasion that's got to happen now. That's been really hard, and one of the reasons why I put off having a mammogram for so long, or even reporting the lump for so long, was because I didn't want to have to do the invasion of the testing that's involved. So I have issues with my breasts anyway. They're not been my best friend. They have caused me a lot of negative and positive attention, but in the end they leave a fairly bitter taste in my mouth. I'm big busted, so very simple for people to see, and I have people in my world who will often make jokes about the size of them, and they think they're being funny and don't realize how much it hurts. So I feel very exposed, and then having to go and have your chest out for people to manhandle and place them in pieces of machinery and rub shit over it, screening, and your nipples are out for everybody to see. And even if it's just you and a technician in a room, I actually found that whole thing incredibly confronting, and I that's one of the reasons why I put it off. So I don't blame myself for that. I just go, I know why. So now, having this diagnosis, I'm reluctant to tell people because I don't want them thinking about my breasts. I don't want them looking at them. I decided I've now had this diagnosis now for today's Thursday, so for 3 days. And I've got more tests to do, so there's more invasion, more machines, more people I don't know manhandling me. And as compassionate and kind and gentle, emotionally and physically, as people will be, it's not going to take away the discomfort I have around this, and I just have to grin and bear it, and deal with it as I go. I also made the mistake today of when I went to see the surgeon, so that's all happened really quickly, in their efforts to educate me and let me know how they're going to take care of me. They gave me a lot of information, and some of that information was actually about reconstruction, because chances are I'm going to need that. We don't know everything yet, but we know that that's highly likely. And I hadn't been able to look at the brochure until today, and I thought I was avoiding it, so I went and got it, and I opened it up and I started reading through the process and the explanations, and I had to put it away. It was just way too confronting. So I really wish I hadn't been given that information. I wish there was more of a stage process with that. So this is pretty darn uncomfortable. Ever since I've had the biopsies last week, so I had both breast biopsy just on a week ago. While they're not sore, they're just uncomfortable. They feel bruised, and it's just the sensation of having that part of my body physically invaded is really hard to get out of my head, and I tend to ruminate on that a bit at the moment. I'm hoping in time that will ease. But I'm also curious to know that if you lose a breast, you end up with phantom pain. I know enough about amputation, having worked with many amputees over the years, of what to expect from phantom pain and what other people have experienced. But I don't know about this, so I'm curious to know if that's a thing. But I'm not curious to go searching. I'm not going to do that right now. My husband's actually going to have surgery for bladder cancer tomorrow, so we hadn't even gotten through his cancer therapies or interventions before we got this diagnosis. So yeah, it's all feeling a tad overwhelming. And of course I oscillate between being completely blanked out in my head and going, I just can't think anymore, through to over functioning, which is, I need a list, I need to do things. My first thought when I woke up this morning was, I'm going to get really fit and be as fit as I can be so that I can be as healthy as I can be post-operatively, which is really hard for somebody who lives with a chronic autoimmune condition and exercise induces migraines. So that sucks. Yes. That's another thing I'm really not looking forward to, is every time I have to go and talk to a different medical profession, my medical history can appear complicated and overwhelming, and then I feel guilty about that and try and make it easy for people. So, and I'm a health professional, and I don't expect to get cared for in this system. That's horrid. We can do better than that as health professionals, surely. All right, we'll see if this is something that I do more often, and we'll see if it's actually useful.